It's Wednesday here in western Pennsylvania. The sun's out once in a while. It's only going to be 34 today. This weekend it might go up to 60. They said like Saturday rain 58. Again on Sunday it might go up to 60. It's going to be dry, but it's going to be too sloppy to take the bike out. I've been in here in the workshop cleaning up. I really cleaned my lathe, went over it and everything. And one thing that always bothers me is when I clean it is this screw down here. This is your feed screw for your feed and your threading. And this always gets stuff on it. I looked into getting those telescopic covers for this, and I didn't know what to do. I take a little wire brush and I'll go like that and clean it, you know, and it's perfectly clean. As soon as you use it, you got stuff back on it. And I thought, if you could put a wiper on here to keep this clean as you move it, so at least it don't go back in there into your half nut or your drive system. And I thought, you know, if you could put a wire brush maybe around here. And what I did was I got this battery post terminal cleaner, and look at the end of that. That is a little bigger than this. And I thought about cutting a slot in this, fitting it on there, and then, you know, cutting about that much off of it to use this, the wire brush, and then silicone it on here. Put a clamp on there and leave it overnight, let it silicone. If it doesn't work, I could take it right back off. But I thought these wires are really stiff. I thought about maybe a brass brush. But then I'm looking at my brushes, of all the ones I have, and this is a Harbor Freight one. And I thought right here, these are a different type of bristles. They're not real, you can go like this with your finger, it doesn't hurt you. And I thought if I cut these little bristles off right here, cut that across there and silicone that on right there, push it against the gear. When I take it back and forth, you can see it scrapes along there and helps clean it, but when it's turning, it'll keep it clean. So I'm going to cut these off, cut this off. I'm going to scrub this thing real good, and I'm going to clean this area here and see if I can silicone that. I have some room there that it would go, and make like a wiper and see how it does. I cut the bristles off the brush and I filed that. The handle was here. I cut it off with a hacksaw. I cut it here and this way, and rounded it with a file a little bit. And this screw here, when the machine's running, this is turning. If you're looking at it that way, it's counterclockwise, so this is going down. And if you look at the brush, the brushes are kind of down this way. If you turn it, it's up. So I'm going to turn them down. That way is the way I want to mount it, right on here. So I'm going to clean this with alcohol and this, put a clamp on it, put some silicone, put a clamp on it. To put a clamp across my apron here, I had to take this piece off. That's a thing for threading. It's on this side over here. It's just the one bolt you take and take it off. And what I want, because I want to be able to get my clamp in here real good. So I have some, I always keep a bottle of alcohol out here. There's one other thing I want to show about putting this on. I'm going to clean that real good so the silicone will stick. And this will be going down that way, so the bristles are down. So I'm cleaning this good with alcohol. Then one thing, when you're going to glue plastic like this is pretty smooth. So I have an X-Acto blade. You could even use real rough sandpaper and do it. But I'm going to put some cuts across it. Like that. And then I'm going to go the other way to exit. So it's like a crisscross pattern on there. And that's to help hold the silicone on it. And I don't want to really mark the lay there, but I'll try this once I get it all done. Now it's ready to glue there. I'm just going to glue it, and if it keeps coming off, and if the silicone doesn't stick to that, I'll take my X-Acto knife and make some little scars across it, just where I'm going to put it. It won't hurt it. I can always sand it, you know, if I ever take it off, don't want it on there. So I'll get the silicone, glue that right like that, put a clamp on it, and leave it probably till later today. Probably late tonight I can check it. So I have it clamped up. In this clamp, I didn't tighten clear in. I just squeezed it enough to hold the brushes against this screw, and I use black silicone. They have the regular black, they have clear. I like this black. Then the red silicone is high temperature for where there's a lot of heat and stuff around. And I had put my cooling system on this lathe, and I'll bring it around and show. Every time I would clean under here in the pan, right here where the lathe is attached to this, and then it goes down to the stand, right in here along there, this is welded, but right here in the front there, or this side, they didn't weld it. And I'd clean this, then I'd always have that lubricant coming out of here. So I'd put a paper towel there, and then, you know, every so often turn it. Well, I put a bead of that black silicone across there. Now I won't have that. That sealed that up. So just wait until the silicone's dry, and then I can try it. This way I'm not hurting the lathe. It's just enough on these teeth to clean them off as I go. And how many times, you know, you're running this, and as it goes around, it's better than nothing. And here's my finished product. That little piece of brush is just pushing on that. I didn't push it real hard, just a little bit. Touch it and a little more, siliconed on, and that is on there. So when I wind it back and forth, that's brushing the cuttings off. And if I turn it on, if I'm using my feed, I'll put the faster threading on. That's brushing it. And when I'm cutting, cuttings get on here. If I come down further, it'll take them off. When I go back, it'll brush them off. I think that, you know, it's better than nothing. I could have even cut this in half, put half on top and half on the side. It would have covered more area. I mean, there's so many ways you could do that, but it helps. It's better than just not doing anything. I can even see the difference in the color there about how it brushed it. And another thing is, a guy could put some oil on there, let it go into the brushes as you do it, and it would actually lube this as you go. So that's another good thing. When I come up here, and I sometimes put oil on the ways and on these things, the wipers, I have the reservoir for them. Put some on there, crank it back and forth, let it run. It'll lube that threading screw and feeding screw. Yesterday, the wife and I went over to Harbor Freight. I wanted to get another, maybe even a couple more of them LED lights that I showed that are so good. They don't have any. So today I called up to another one, Harbor Freight. Do you have any on stock? Nope. She said they sell out so quick. She said they got a big shipment from China coming in. They're made in China like everything today. And she said there's like 30,000 units they're getting in pretty soon. She said probably within 2 weeks. So you got to wait for that. Then I was over there, and here I have this little plastic magnifying glass. Because you look at them coupons for Harbor Freight, you want to see if they're outdated. They are smaller than ever and hard to see, and this thing is a piece of crap. I mean, it's got the little wee circle here that's supposed to be better. The thing's all scratched up, and I had told my wife, I said, I hate this thing. I said, I got to get a glass one. At Harbor Freight, she come walking over and said, is this what you mean? I said, that's it, it's glass. So I got that. I picked up a 10-pound pack of 7018 welding sticks for my 220 welder. I got that. Always check the clearance. Here, an open box. The end of this was broke. It didn't look like there was any gone. I could even weigh it because this is 2 pounds. And they're for a little different number. They're a 6011, and they had them. These usually go for, I think, 10 bucks, around 10 bucks. $3.98 because the end of it was broke, and they had them laying there, so I held it up like that, and then I just put duct tape around it for now. But $6 off. I picked it up. And then, you know, strange things always happen to me. I don't know why. Get a letter in the mail. Wife said, you got some mail, and I'm looking to come out of Pittsburgh, and I'm like, I don't, you know, ain't nobody I know in Pittsburgh. So I look at it, and I thought it's either an advertisement or they're trying to sell you something. Here, it's a thing about our party, Christmas party, and it's a union where I worked. I could still go if I want to. Retirees are invited. And it tells when it's at. The doors open at 6, dinner's at 7. And I'm looking at it, $10 per couple. That ain't bad. I mean, $5 single. Then it says 6:30. Horse de-overers. I'm like, what the hell is a horse de-overers? Then I start laughing. I know what it is. They're going to feed them horse. Now I know they're cutting costs, but you're going to serve horse? Years ago when I was young, they got into that, you know, about having horse for people, you know, raising them for food. And everybody made the comment, well, you're putting real beef in dog food and you're going to feed people horse. It didn't go over good. And I'm like, you know, the dinner, they don't even say, I can't believe it, they don't say what the dinner is. There's no choices. I could understand that, but I mean, at least say what it is. You know, I don't know what they have. I've never went to one. I don't know. Horse de-overers. So it must be like little cakes of horse. I don't know how the hell you cook it. Or maybe like a steak, horse steak. So, I don't know. At 2 o'clock, I have to get downtown. If you eat horse de-overers, you're going to... Oh my God, you go in there, they'll have a bag you put up on your face and your food in there, you just sit there, tip it back when you want to get a bite. Oh my God, I'm like, you gotta be me. They're gonna serve horse. I wouldn't even eat a raccoon or a groundhog. We have some people back here who used to eat groundhogs. Guys would shoot them out here in the fields because the farmers want them to shoot them, and they'd give them, people cook them up and eat them. I never ate it. Maybe it's good. I don't know. It's like, I think, deer meat, you know, and especially a fisherman goes out and catch fish. If you know how to cook it, it's good. There was a man at work that used to go to Erie, and that's a big fishing place up there, and he caught some big fish. I don't know what kind they are. I don't care for fish. Long John Silver's, that's it, I'm done. But the wife, she loves that white fish, and we'll get it, and you know, she'll cook it, and I'm like, I'll eat a little bit, you know, but I ain't crazy, I just don't like it. And he would bring it, he brought it in, me and my brother got buddies with him, and he'd go fishing with him. He brought it in, and we were down there at this table, and he brought this big fish he cooked in, and he had a bunch of plastic forks and said, come on, you got to try it. I tried it. It was good. I'm like, ah, man, but he knew how to cook it. And horse, how many pounds, you know, times by pound you cook it, or, you know, I don't know how they, wouldn't even know how to start to try to cook a horse. I don't know. Oh my God, they're serving horse. Yeah, they're cutting costs, but I ain't going that route. Christmas, I'd never heard anybody saying, yeah, we have a Christmas horse. Unless his name's Christmas, and then he's done for. Oh, man. Have a good day.